Welcome to Kramen, a father whose daughter has been kidnapped, and a killer who has declared war against God. In this story, everyone's emotions are at their peak. Movie begins as Keller visits his friend Franklin's house with his family. Franklin's wife, Nancy, opens the door. It's Thanksgiving Day. Franklin has two daughters. The elder one is Eliza, and the younger one is Joy. Joy and Anna go outside to play. Keller's son Ralph and Eliza go along with them. While playing, Joy and Anna reach near a van, and Anna starts to climb it. Ralph pulls her down. Ralph and Eliza bring both the kids back home. However, someone from inside the van is watching them. Later, they all have dinner together. Anna asks Grace if she can take Joy to her house to play. Grace agrees but tells them to take Ralph and Eliza along. The kids leave together. Sometime later, Keller asks Ralph about Anna. Ralph says Anna didn't come here. Keller thinks she might have gone home, so he goes to check, but neither of the girls are there. Keller comes back and says they aren't at home either. At that moment, Ralph tells him about the van. Keller, Ralph, and Franklin go out looking for the van but don't find it. Keller calls the police. Then we are introduced to Detective Loki. He gets a lead on the van's location. The van is parked at a gas station. Loki reaches there with the police. Inside the van, there's a man who, seeing the police, tries to flee, but crashes the van into a tree. The police arrest him. His name is Alex. Detective Loki questions Alex about Anna and Joy. He tries to scare him into revealing information, but Alex keeps saying he doesn't know who they are or where they are. Alex tells Loki he parks his RV at his aunt's house. Loki visits Alex's Aunt Holly's house. An old car is parked outside. Holly says the car belonged to her husband, who left years ago and never returned. She says Alex never bothers anyone and is a good boy. She shows Loki Alex's room and tells him Alex's parents died in a car accident when he was 6 years old. Loki finds no clues about the missing girls. The forensic team also finds nothing in Alex's van. Meanwhile, the police search for the girls in the woods. Keller and Franklin are with them, but they find nothing. Loki visits Keller's home and asks Grace if it's possible the girls ran away. Grace, deeply worried, starts crying. Keller then questions Loki about the van. Loki says they found nothing suspicious. He mentions Alex has the mental capacity of a small child and couldn't have done this. Keller asks why Alex ran when he saw the police if he was innocent. Loki says he interrogated Alex for 10 hours, and he didn't seem to know anything. Keller suggests maybe someone else was with Alex, who kidnapped the children. Loki assures him that they will find the kids. Eventually, he goes to Father Patrick's house. Father Patrick, drunk, is lying on the ground. Loki notices the fridge has been moved. When he moves it, he finds a door leading to the basement. Downstairs, he discovers a decayed body. He questions Father Patrick, who says he doesn't know the man's name, but he had confessed to killing 16 children and would have killed more, so Patrick killed him instead. Loki arrests Father Patrick. Meanwhile, Keller finds out that the police is releasing Alex due to lack of evidence. As Holly and Alex come out of the police station, the press surrounds them. Keller arrives and confronts Alex, asking him about Anna. Alex says, "They didn't cry until after I left them." The police pull Keller away. Keller tells Loki what Alex said and insists Alex must know something. Loki questions Alex again about what he said to Keller. Alex denies saying anything. Loki warns Alex that if he's hiding anything, his Aunt Holly could go to jail too. Still, Alex sticks to his story. Loki informs Keller that Alex is denying everything. Hearing this, Keller angrily hangs up the phone. 3 days have passed since Anna and Joy went missing, and there is still no trace of them. The police have no leads. Seeing Grace's devastated state, Keller cannot stand it anymore. He goes to Holly's house and waits outside. After some time, Alex comes out with his dog. Keller pulls out a gun and approaches him. The next day, Keller brings Franklin to his father's old house, where he has tied up Alex. Seeing this, Franklin says what they are doing is wrong. Keller insists he knows what Alex said and that the police aren't doing enough. They must find their children themselves. Franklin, however, doesn't want to be part of this. Meanwhile, Loki is investigating the house where the van was parked earlier. The owner tells him her son disappeared 23 years ago and was never found. She believes whoever kidnapped her son is also responsible for kidnapping Anna and Joy. Meanwhile, Keller and Franklin are torturing Alex. Despite repeated questioning, Alex doesn't reveal anything. The community gathers to support the families. Loki is also there when he notices a man looking at some toys. That man sees Loki and starts to leave. Loki follows him, but the man starts running, and although Loki chases him, the man escapes. The next day, the man's photo appears in the news. Loki tells Captain Richard that Alex had gone out to walk his dog last night and hasn't returned home since. While Loki is reviewing Alex's interrogation tapes, he receives a call from a girl. She says that the man, the one Loki saw, comes to her floor often and his name is Bob. Loki tells her to call him next time Bob shows up. Meanwhile, Alex is with Keller and Franklin. Franklin tells Nancy about Alex, and together they go to Keller's house. Nancy wanted to meet Alex. They go to him. Nancy unties Alex's hands and questions him about the children, but Alex tries to run. Keller and Franklin stop him. Then, Keller locks Alex inside a wooden box. Nancy and Franklin knew what they were doing was wrong, but they were willing to do anything to find their daughters. Afterward, Nancy tells Keller she won't help him anymore but also won't stop him. Later, Bob is shown sneaking into Keller's house. Grace hears some noises but doesn't find anything. When she returns to her room, she finds the window open. She tells Loki about it. Loki asks Grace about Keller. She says Keller is working with the police to find Anna. Loki starts getting suspicious and begins tailing Keller. Keller parks his truck somewhere while Loki watches from a distance. Just then, a truck pulls up behind Loki and honks, drawing Keller's attention. Realizing he's being followed, Keller enters a wine shop, buys a bottle of alcohol, and approaches Loki. Loki tells him to get in the car and asks what he's doing there. Keller says, "I have a bottle of alcohol. What do you think I'm doing?" Loki tells him to go home. Keller says his daughter is waiting for him and that he can't do anything for her. Loki warns him he's too drunk to drive, but Keller says he's walking home. Keller walks home drinking. The next day, Keller tortures Alex again by pouring hot water into the box. Keller didn't want to do it but felt he had no choice. Just then, Loki arrives at Keller's house. Keller sees Loki coming and pretends to be drunk and asleep. Loki asks Keller about Alex while checking the house. As Loki is about to enter the bathroom, he receives a call from the store girl, who says Bob had been there again but might have suspected her and left. She also gives Loki Bob's car number. Loki leaves, and Keller breathes a sigh of relief. Loki goes to Bob's house and questions him about the other night. Bob claims he doesn't know Loki and says he had just gone shopping. Loki confronts him about buying children's clothes and asks if he has any kids. Bob tries to shut the door, but Loki breaks in and handcuffs him. While searching Bob's house, Loki finds locked boxes. He opens the boxes. They find blood-stained children's clothes and many snakes inside. Loki shows photos of the clothes to Franklin and Nancy, who recognize some of them. Loki tells Keller that Joy's clothes were found among them. Keller identifies Anna's socks. Believing Anna and Joy are dead, Keller accuses Loki of wasting time following him instead of saving the kids. Meanwhile, Bob is in custody. Loki interrogates him violently about the bodies until two officers intervene. Bob then grabs one of the officers' guns and shoots himself. At the same time, Keller is with Alex, who mutters something about the maze, but Keller doesn't understand. Keller goes to Holly's house, hoping to find answers. Holly invites him in, thinking Alex ran away from home. She tells Keller that her real son had died of cancer and they had adopted Alex afterward. Meanwhile, Loki sees a news report about Bob's death and confessions, but no bodies have been found. Loki grows suspicious. He notices a photo of a body found at Father Patrick's house wearing a locket similar to the maze Bob was drawing. Forensics confirm that the blood on the clothes at Bob's house was from animals, not children. Except for Anna and Joy's clothes, the rest were new with tags. Loki concludes that Bob had been abducted as a child but had escaped after 3 weeks. Bob was pretending to be a killer but wasn't. Remembering Grace's story about someone entering their home, Loki searches Keller's house and finds Bob's shoe prints and Anna's socks in the bushes. The next day, Grace informs Keller that Joy has been found and is in the hospital. Keller and Grace rush to the hospital. Joy tells Keller that he had come to rescue them, but someone taped their mouths shut. Keller realizes where the kids were kept. He tries to leave, but Loki stops him. Keller escapes, and Loki chases him to an apartment complex but loses him. Meanwhile, Keller goes back to Holly's house, pretending to fix the door. He accuses Holly, and she pulls a gun on him. She handcuffs him and forces him to drink a drug drink. Then she reveals that Alex was the first child she and her husband kidnapped and that they had kidnapped many children since. They also kidnapped Bob. Holly forces Keller into a hidden pit in the ground. When he resists, she shoots him in the leg. She then buries him alive. Later, Holly disposes of Keller's car. Meanwhile, Loki is ordered to visit Holly to ask about Alex. At Holly's house, Loki notices the same locket in a family photo, realizing Holly's husband was the dead man found earlier. He realizes that Holly kidnapped Anna. When Loki breaks into the house, Holly is about to inject Anna. Holly fires at Loki, injuring him. Loki shoots back and kills Holly. Loki, bleeding heavily, rescues Anna and gets her to the hospital. Alex, after 26 years, is reunited with his real family. However, Keller is still missing. Everyone assumes Keller is on the run because of what he did to Alex. Grace says Keller hasn't contacted her yet. Grace says Keller wasn't a bad man. He did everything he could to find Anna. When Loki is at Holly's house searching its premises, Keller is buried underneath and Loki is there. We should be hopeful that he might be rescued. And the story come to an end. This film is The Prisoners and it was released in 2013. I hope you liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos.